I chose my baby over my husband's abuse and left when I was 7 months pregnant. I'll never forget the day it happened. I was 7 months pregnant, carrying heavy grocery bags up 3 flights of stairs. Each step felt like it was crushing my chest. My back was in agony, and my ankles were swelling with every trip. By the time I finally set the last bag down in the kitchen, I saw Alan, sprawled out on the couch, gaming with his headphones on, completely ignoring me. He didn't even look up when I collapsed into the chair, gasping for breath. Then he said it. "You're getting disgusting to look at. You better lose that weight fast after the baby, or I'll find someone who actually takes care of herself." I couldn't process what I just heard. This was the man I thought I was building a life with, the man who was supposed to be my partner. Instead, here he was, casually mocking me, surrounded by his friends laughing through his headset. The weight of his words hit me like a ton of bricks, and for a moment, I couldn't even breathe. But I didn't cry, I didn't scream. Instead, I walked over, kissed his forehead, and smiled as I told him I needed a shower. I knew he expected me to break down, but I couldn't. Not in front of him. Not anymore. In the shower, the water drowned out the sounds of the world, and I let myself finally break down. But these weren't just sad tears. They were angry tears, tears of clarity. In that moment, I saw everything that had been wrong with our relationship, everything I had been ignoring. This wasn't just a bad moment, it was a pattern. This was who Alan truly was, and I was about to bring a child into this. A child who would either learn to treat others this way or accept being treated this way. I wasn't going to let that happen. That night, I made my decision. I packed my hospital bag, grabbed my laptop and my important documents, and told Alan I needed some air. He barely looked up from his game. I left knowing I couldn't go back to that apartment, not ever. I went to a hotel about 20 minutes away and called my sister Anne, who would be here the next day to help me figure everything out. Alan called me twice that night and texted asking where the leftovers were in the fridge. He didn't even ask where I was. Over the next few days, I started organizing everything. I couldn't believe how much my life had changed in just a few hours. I'd already tried everything with Alan. We'd had numerous talks about dividing household responsibilities. I suggested couples therapy 3 times. He always refused, saying he was too busy or it was a waste of time. I started planning the next steps, gathering my things, and making sure I had everything I needed to make a clean break. I found a new apartment, a small 2-bedroom, ground floor place with laundry in the unit. It wasn't fancy, but it was mine. For the first time in years, I felt the weight lifting from my chest. This was my fresh start. I started packing up my personal things, my baby's things, and everything I couldn't leave behind. I moved my paychecks into a separate account. I took every necessary document. I even got a burner phone so Alan couldn't track me. It felt like the most exhausting, difficult, but necessary thing I'd ever done. The day Alan went to his father's birthday, I began Operation Exodus. Anne, a friend of mine, and Alan's brother Rory all helped me move my stuff. By the time the day ended, most of my belongings were in my new apartment, and I was free. When Alan came home that night, he was completely unaware. He thought everything was fine, like it always was, and I wasn't going anywhere. But when he walked into the empty apartment and saw the divorce papers on the counter, he finally realized, I didn't leave anything behind that wasn't mine. I even took the things that I had bought before we were together, my personal items, and everything that had meaning to me. I left Alan with the furniture we had bought together and the divorce papers. I couldn't help but think about everything that had led me to this moment. How I tolerated his selfishness, his verbal abuse, and how I had convinced myself for years that things would get better. But the truth was, it was never going to get better. I deserved more. My baby deserved more. The hardest part of all of this was pretending that everything was fine for so long. Cooking his meals, cleaning the house, smiling through the hurt, while he sat there playing games for hours. Even sleeping beside him made my skin crawl. I had stopped gaslighting myself into believing that he was going to change. And that was when everything snapped. I wasn't just leaving him. I was leaving behind the woman I'd been. That day when I finally decided to leave for good, I didn't know what the future held. But I did know one thing. I couldn't let my baby grow up thinking this was what a relationship looked like. Update 1. Today marks the first Saturday since I left. Alan's been sending me messages, saying how sorry he is and promising to change. I haven't responded. Some people have suggested that I should try to communicate with him more, but we've tried that many times. Each time he promises to change, but the actions never follow. We've had many conversations about how the household responsibilities should be divided, and I've suggested couples therapy more than once. He always either says he's too busy or refuses flat out, so I've stopped trying. Update 2. It's been 3 days now, and Alan hasn't called. He started sending me pictures of our wedding, asking for forgiveness. I still haven't responded. I know he thinks he can fix things, but the truth is, he's never once truly admitted to the hurtful things he's done. All of his messages are about restoring the relationship, not understanding the damage he's caused. Update 3. I've moved into my new apartment. Alan still hasn't found me, and I'm starting to feel a little bit of peace. Anne helped me set everything up, and I'm finally feeling like myself again. My baby's kicking, and I can't help but feel relieved that we're in a safe place. Final update. It's been a month since I left Alan. I've been adjusting to my new life with my daughter, Lily, who is now 6 months old. She's happy, healthy, and is the light of my life. I never imagined I'd be doing this alone, but the truth is, I'm happier than I've ever been. I don't have to worry about living in a toxic environment anymore, and that, in itself, is a relief. I don't know what the future holds with Alan, but I know that I'm doing the right thing. I'm creating a better life for my daughter and myself, and for the first time in a long while, you at peace.